Hello everyone. The purpose of this video is to explain about the common mistakes which can be found in a welding symbol mainly by welding engineer or supervisor, welding inspector or sometimes by welder. And this mistake can cause misunderstanding among different stakeholders. So in this video I have identified 10 different mistakes and also explanation how to identify those mistakes and how not to repeat those mistakes. Before we start this video, if you do not have good background about ISO welding symbol or AWS welding symbol, I have put two ISO and AWS videos link in description below. So please watch that video, learn about welding symbol first, and then you can visit this video to know more about what type of mistakes can be occurred. Here you can see some examples of the welded connections, and the main reason of this mistake can be because of the interpretation of the welding symbol or knowledge of different standards. Some people are fluent about ISO or the other are fluent about AWS, and misunderstanding or the confusion among different standards can cause an error as well. So the first and most common error about the welding symbol is confusion about the arrow side with the other side. So there is always a doubt or there is always a question after seeing the welding symbol that which side should be welded first. Let's understand this thing with one of the example. So in this joint connection along with the weld symbol, you can see there is a 5/16 fillet weld. Now side A should be welded based on this arrow or side B should be welded based on this arrow. According to the AWS welding standards, arrow side should be always bottom of the arrow, which is 5/16 fillet weld, should be welded like this. And here in this finished weld connection, you can see based on this welding symbol, the right side of the joint, which is obviously called as the arrow side, is welded. Second point is about misinterpreting the size and the length of the weld. Let's see this with the example. In first picture, you can see some examples of welding symbol showing the size, and in the second example, you can see some welding symbols showing the length for the fillet weld. So as you can see, size always comes on left hand side of the weld symbol. At the same time, length always come right hand side of the weld symbol. So size is always on left and length is always on right of the weld symbol. Now you may ask, what if there is no length of the weld symbol mentioned, only the size is there? In that case, you always have to remember that if there is no length given, then length would be at the full length of the joint, as you can see from this picture. So if there is a length, then you have to follow the length. But if there is no length, then length should be throughout the joint of the welding connection. The third mistake is very important as far as the life of the welded connection is concerned, because you may not find this mistake after the welding or during the final welding inspection when weld is done, but it can cause a serious problem or maybe sometimes a failure during its service life. So this mistake is about ignoring the type of the weld during the welding process. Let's understand this thing with these three example pictures. So in photo number 1, 2 and 3, you can see all are T-joint, but the metal preparation is different. The first connection is bevel groove joint, the second connection is J groove joint, and third one is fillet weld. So it's very important understanding the type of the weld symbol. You have to prepare the base metal either for bevel groove or for J groove or for the fillet weld connection. And once the proper connection is made, base metal is fit up properly, then it's allowed to weld. The fourth possible error is forgetting about the weld tail. As we know, weld tail is the important part of the welding symbol. However, weld tail is optional. So, if you want to pass a note related to any welding specification or any important notes about the type of the weld or what is specifically needed for that welded connection, that note can be put in the tail. Sometimes welder ignore the tail and they don't follow what is really written or conveyed by the design engineer, and in that case there is a possibility that he may miss the important information. So welding tail is one of the essential part of the welding symbol, and if there is a welding tail and if there is an information which is strictly mentioned in the welding tail, a welder must follow that information, and a welding inspector should also consider that during their welding inspection. The fifth error is about ignoring the field welding symbol. Let's see this with some of the examples. As you can see in this picture, the first picture shows the flag which shows to do the welding on the field. Second does not, and third one does not. So if there is a flag, then it's a field weld connection, so it should be welded on the site. But if there is no flag, then weld must do at the shop. So everybody needs to understand and follow the flag mentioned on the welding symbol, and based on that they have to decide whether this weld would be welded on the site or would be welded at the shop. The sixth error is not directly related to a welding symbol, but it's more related to neglecting the position of the weld. So based on the welding symbol and the drawing, whatever position shown for the connection or for the welding connection, we have to verify that a welder is certain to do that welding or he is qualified to perform that welding. And if there is any possibility to do any other position for the same connection, which may give even better quality of the weld. So understanding the welding symbol and the drawing and try to implement that thing on the actual welding connection is very important. Seventh error is mainly about design engineer while they don't consider the material thickness. As you can see from the first picture, it's showing half inch of groove weld which is causing partial joint penetration. However, in the second picture, the 5/8 size of the weld with back weld caused a complete joint penetration. So if there is really a need for a partial joint penetration, then it's totally fine only to mention about the weld size. But if there is a desired requirement for the complete joint penetration, a complete butt joint, and if the metal thickness is ignored, it may cause partial joint penetration in some cases. So it's very important to understand the base metal thickness while designing the weld joint. Mention the weld size in the welding symbol along with the metal thickness in the weld symbol. The eighth error is mainly about consideration for the contour of the weld symbol, and this is mainly related to the field condition. So sometimes if there is a specific requirement or a need, a welding symbol does have contour mention in that, whether that contour is convex, concave, or sometimes it flat. So it's very important to review the welding symbol carefully, try to follow the contour and try to perform the actual weld or the desired weld based on that contour. The next error is about ignoring the sequence of the welding symbol. We will understand this with these two welded connection. They both look same, they both are complete joint penetration, and they both are meant to join those two plates with each other. However, in the first symbol, you can see the sequence, and based on the sequence, V joint should come first and then later followed by the back weld. However, in the second picture, backing should come first and then later V joint, which is on top of the backing, should come. So sequence is one of the essential part of the welding symbol if it is needed, and sequence must be followed during the welding process. And as you can see from these example welding symbols, sequence can always start from the bottom followed by the next on top of the bottom one. The last and final error is about the welding symbol, as you can see from this picture. However, I am not going to explain what is the error considering the welding symbol with the actual welded connection. I would request you guys as my viewers or as my subscriber to see this welding symbol, to see this welded connection, and let me know in the comment section below that what is wrong with this connection or what is wrong with this welding symbol, or it just right. I wanted to know from you guys, so I request you to see this and try to solve this thing and put the comment below. Once I get comments from you guys, in my next video I will write down and I'll show the correct answer with your comment, and I will also try to show your name. So please try and do subscribe to my channel. If you have any question or if you want to know any particular topic about the welding, please let me know in the comment so I can cover those areas in the next upcoming videos.